Existe um líquido que custa menos de R$ 10 e provavelmente está no seu banheiro agora. Ele não melhora um pouco. Ele não disfarça. Ele restaura. Em poucos minutos, ele pode devolver a transparência de um farol que hoje parece morto. Enquanto isso, no Brasil, muita gente paga entre R$ 200 e R$ 800 em polimento ou troca de farol. E, em carros mais novos, esse valor pode passar fácil de R$ 1.000. Não porque seja a única solução, mas porque parece ser. E é aí que começa o problema. Você não percebe no começo. O carro continua o mesmo. Anda normal, funciona. Mas, aos poucos, algo muda na frente dele. Primeiro, um leve amarelado. Depois, um aspecto meio leitoso. Até que chega um ponto em que o farol parece embaçado o tempo inteiro, mesmo limpo. A maioria das pessoas pensa que é sujeira presa por dentro. Ou pior, que o farol estragou de vez. Mas isso não é verdade. Durante décadas, os carros usavam faróis de vidro, e isso resolvia praticamente tudo. O vidro não oxidava, não amarelecia e não reagia com o sol. Um carro antigo podia passar 15, 20 anos na rua e o farol continuava transparente. Só que tinha um problema para a indústria. Vidro não dá margem. Não dá para reinventar todo ano. Não dá para criar design exclusivo com facilidade. E, principalmente, não cria um ciclo constante de substituição. A mudança veio nos anos 80. Os fabricantes começaram a substituir o vidro por um material chamado policarbonato. Um plástico extremamente resistente, leve e moldável. Isso permitiu os faróis modernos que você vê hoje, com formatos agressivos, aerodinâmicos, diferentes em cada modelo. Parecia evolução. E, em parte, era. Mas o policarbonato tem uma fraqueza que quase ninguém te explica quando você compra o carro. Ele não gosta de sol. E no Brasil, isso vira um problema ainda maior. Carro parado na rua, no calor de 35 graus, recebendo sol direto todos os dias. O farol está ali, exposto o tempo inteiro. E o que acontece não é sujeira, não é desgaste comum. É química. A radiação ultravioleta começa a atacar a superfície do plástico e quebra as ligações moleculares que mantêm aquele material estável. Esse processo é conhecido como fotooxidação. Na prática, o farol começa a morrer por fora. Microfissuras surgem, invisíveis no início. Depois, essas pequenas falhas começam a acumular umidade, poluição, resíduos da estrada. E aí vem o efeito que você enxerga, o embaçado, o amarelado, a perda de transparência. Agora vem o detalhe que quase ninguém sabe. Quando o carro sai da fábrica, o farol recebe uma camada protetora contra os raios UV. Uma espécie de escudo invisível que segura essa degradação por alguns anos. Só que essa proteção não dura para sempre. Em média, ela começa a falhar entre 3 e 5 anos, dependendo de quanto o carro fica no sol. Depois disso, o policarbonato fica totalmente exposto, sem defesa. A partir daí, o processo acelera. E o mais curioso é que, na maioria dos casos, o dano não está no farol inteiro. Está só na superfície. Uma camada extremamente fina, menor que a espessura de uma unha, ou seja, aquilo que parece irreversível. Na verdade, nunca foi. E é exatamente aqui que entra o líquido de menos de R$ 10 e o motivo pelo qual quase ninguém fala sobre ele. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a project that's not only going to make your car look 10 years younger, but will also significantly improve your safety on the road. I'm talking about headlight restoration. If your headlights are looking yellow, cloudy, or hazy, you're in the right place. This oxidation doesn't just look bad, it can reduce your light output by a huge margin, making it harder to see at night and for other drivers to see you. Now, you might be thinking, do I need to buy expensive new headlights? Absolutely not. For a fraction of the cost, And with a little bit of elbow grease, you can get them looking crystal clear again. We're going to walk through the entire process, step by step. I'll show you what tools and materials you'll need, the different methods you can use from simple home remedies to professional-grade kits, and I'll share some pro tips to make sure you get a perfect, long-lasting finish. First things first, let's talk about what causes this problem. Your headlight lenses are typically made of polycarbonate, which is a strong, impact-resistant plastic. To protect them from the sun's harsh UV rays, manufacturers apply a clear coat. Over time, that protective layer breaks down from sun exposure, road debris, and harsh chemicals, causing the plastic underneath to oxidize and turn yellow. That's the haze you're seeing. So, how do we fix it? The core principle of headlight restoration is simple. We need to remove that damaged, oxidized top layer and then protect the newly exposed surface. This involves a process of sanding, polishing, and sealing. It might sound intimidating, but trust me, it's something most people can do right in their own driveway. Let's gather our supplies. The most important thing you'll need is a good restoration kit. There are tons of options out there, ranging from about $15 to $50. Some come with everything you need, including various grits of sandpaper, polishing compound, and a protective sealant. Others might require you to have your own drill to use with their attachments. For today's demonstration, I'm using a popular mid-range kit that I've had great results with in the past. It includes everything we need. Besides the kit, you'll also want some painter's tape, a spray bottle with water, and a few clean microfiber towels. The tape is crucial for protecting the paint around your headlights. You do not want to accidentally sand your car's paint job, so take your time with this step. Carefully tape off the entire perimeter of the headlight. I like to do 2 or 3 layers just to be safe. Better safe than sorry, right? All right, with our car prepped, it's time to get started with the first and most critical stage, sanding. This is where we physically remove that yellowed, oxidized layer. Most kits will come with several different grits of sandpaper, usually starting from a coarse grit, like 800 or 1000, and moving up to a very fine grit, like 2000 or 3000. The idea is to start with the coarsest grit to do the heavy lifting, and then progressively use finer grits to smooth out the scratches left by the previous one. Before you start sanding, make sure the headlight is clean. Just wash it with some soap and water and dry it off. Now, grab your first, coarsest piece of sandpaper. We're going to be wet sanding. This is super important. Wet sanding helps to lubricate the surface, preventing the sandpaper from getting clogged up with plastic dust, and also helps to create a smoother finish. So, keep your spray bottle handy, and keep both the headlight and the sandpaper wet throughout the entire process. Using firm, even pressure, start sanding the headlight in one direction, let's say horizontally, side to side. Cover the entire surface. You'll see a milky, yellowish residue coming off. That's the oxidized plastic, and that's good. It means the process is working. Keep sanding until the entire lens has a uniform, frosted appearance. Make sure you get into all the corners and curves. Once you're satisfied with the first pass, it's time to move to the next, finer grit of sandpaper. Wipe the headlight clean with a microfiber towel, re-wet the surface, and now, sand in the opposite direction. So if you sanded horizontally with the first grit, sand vertically, up and down, with this one. This cross-hatching pattern ensures that you're removing the scratches from the previous grit and not just deepening them. You're going to repeat this process for all the sandpaper grits included in your kit, moving from coarsest to finest, and alternating your sanding direction each time. Always remember to keep the surface wet. As you move to the finer grits, you'll notice the headlight starting to look clearer and less frosted. The final sanding step, usually with 3000 grit paper, should leave the lens feeling very smooth to the touch, though it will still look a bit hazy. Don't worry, that's what the next step is for. Okay, the sanding is done. Now for the magic part, polishing. After you've wiped the headlight clean and dried it completely, it's time to bring back that shine and clarity. Your kit will have a polishing compound and an applicator pad. Some kits are designed to be used with a power drill, which makes this step much faster and more effective. If you have one, attach the polishing pad to your drill. Apply a small amount of the polishing compound to the pad, or directly onto the headlight. Spread it around a bit before you turn the drill on to avoid slinging compound everywhere. Using a medium speed, start polishing the lens. Move the drill slowly and steadily across the entire surface, using light to medium pressure. Keep the drill moving constantly to avoid building up too much heat in one spot, which could damage the plastic. You will immediately see a dramatic difference. The haziness from the sanding will disappear, and a crystal-clear shine will start to emerge. It's incredibly satisfying to watch. Continue polishing until the entire headlight is perfectly clear. If you see any hazy spots, just apply a little more compound and go over them again. Once you're happy with the clarity, take a clean microfiber towel and buff off any remaining polish residue. Stand back and admire your work. The difference should be night and day. But we are not done yet. This is a step that many people skip, and it's the most common reason why headlights get cloudy again just a few months later. We need to apply a protective sealant. Remember that factory UV coating we talked about? We sanded it off. Now we have a perfectly clear but completely unprotected polycarbonate lens. If we leave it like this, the sun will start oxidizing it again very quickly. The sealant acts as a new protective layer, a new clear coat, to shield the lens from UV rays and the elements. Your kit will have a UV sealant, which might come in a wipe, a spray, or a liquid you apply with a pad. Make sure the headlight is completely clean and dry before applying it. Application methods vary, so follow the instructions on your specific kit carefully. For the wipe-on kind, you typically just wipe it across the lens in a single, smooth motion, slightly overlapping each pass. Try not to go back over areas you've already coated, as it can cause streaks. The sealant needs time to cure, so it's best to do this in a garage or on a day when it's not going to rain. The instructions will tell you the exact curing time, but usually it's a few hours before it's dry to the touch, and about 24 hours before it's fully cured. During this time, avoid washing the car or touching the headlights. And that's it. You've successfully restored your headlights. They look brand new, your car's appearance is instantly updated, and most importantly, you'll have much better visibility for safer night driving. The total time for this project is usually about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how bad your headlights are to begin with. Let's quickly recap the key steps. First, clean the headlight and mask off the surrounding paintwork. Second, wet sand the lens with progressively finer grits of sandpaper, alternating directions. Third, polish the lens using a compound to restore clarity and shine. And finally, the crucial fourth step, apply a UV protective sealant to keep them looking great for years to come. For those of you who might be wondering about simpler methods, like using toothpaste or bug spray, I'd advise against them. While they might provide a temporary slight improvement by acting as a very mild abrasive, they don't truly remove the oxidation and offer absolutely no UV protection. Your headlights will be yellow again in a matter of weeks. Investing in a proper kit is definitely the way to go for results that last. I hope you found this guide helpful. It's a really rewarding DIY project that makes a huge difference. If you tackle this on your own car, I'd love to see the before and after results. You can tag us on social media. If you have any questions about the process or about specific products, drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more car care and DIY projects, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss our future videos. Until next time, drive safe and take care.